ahead, Shane.
Awesome. Well, once again, you guys, hey, thank you so much for jumping on the webinar today. This is going to be our third of a 4-part series that we have. The fourth one is going to be this coming up Thursday. Make sure you sign up for it. I do see some familiar faces from the first and second one that we did. So let's go ahead and get the presentation started. Awesome. So as we've talked about, as I was saying, some of you look familiar in regards to the first session and the second session. This is our third webinar that we've had put on by SBDC Texas, specifically Austin. Thank you guys so much for putting this on. I think this is great for the community, especially with all the things we've got going on with COVID and trying to transition your business online, which is pertinent these days. Today, we're going to talk about awareness, really continued awareness, and we're going to optimize conversions and also talk about influencer marketing and debunking myths as well. So as some of you have already seen, I'm going to go through this somewhat fast. Who I am, my name is Shane Barker. I'm a digital strategist, brand and influencer consultant. Been doing this in the space for 25 years, specialize in influencer marketing, content, SEO, online PR, anything really that a product or service needs to drive traffic online and convert that traffic. And I've worked with many Fortune 500 companies, many influencers with digital products like ebooks and stuff like that. And then used to do quite a bit of PR work down in Southern California for a lot of A-list celebrities. My nighttime job is I'm an instructor at UCLA. I do a personal branding, how to be an influencer course there. So once again, I have a full consulting firm that's during the day, and then at night I was flying out to LA. Haven't done it this last quarter, but I was doing it before that to once again teach a class at UCLA to help the students down there. Some of the places I've been mentioned or been featured: New York Post, The Atlantic, Forbes Mexico. I did the first ever influencer marketing conference, was a keynote speaker out there. USA Today, Vice, ABC News. Once again, been in the space for a long time, been around for a long time. And some of the places that I write for about 120 different websites: Inc., Forbes, Huffington Post, Social Media Examiner, Salesforce, some of the big companies. Once again, in regards to thought leadership and putting good content out there and driving traffic to my site. And we've touched on this in the past, but, really I talk about my digital accolades. And the reason why I say this is, it's always interesting when people have webinars and about any specific subject, and I go and look them up and they don't excel at that subject, right? So for myself, I actually index #1 for about 2,500 different keywords on Google on the first page. Once again, you also have to realize that I'm going up against some of the biggest players in the industry. So all the marketers want to brag about the marketing keywords they can become #1 for. I'm going toe to toe with those ladies and gentlemen every single day. So it's a fun journey. And my traffic gets about 180,000, and that we've built up over the last probably 7 or 8 years. And I have about 66,000 on my social following. So once again, I want to give you a little bit of foundation there to understand that what I talk about is something that I actually implement every single day. And the strategies I talk about is what I use with my clients and also with myself. With my own team. So what we're going to learn about today is the methods to build your online presence, right? We talked a little bit that on the second webinar. We're going to continue with that today. How to analyze your website's conversion rates. I'll give you some equations and also talk about some ways to take a look at that. How to conduct A/B testing. So that's where we have one thing that is the same with your website usually is, and then one thing that we change, and that's A/B testing, where you send traffic to each site or to each page and you see which one is converting the best. Because we create a page and we go, God, I think that's going to convert really well, but we really don't know. And if we have to change one variable and send some traffic and see what happens there. We'll talk a little deeper about that. Myths on online marketing, and then some pros, tips, and examples as well. So online marketing methods, this is continued from, once again, the second webinar. Influencer marketing, we're going to talk about affiliate marketing, paid advertising, and reputation management or reputation marketing. So influencer marketing is where you partner with an influential social media personality, blogger in your niche. I have some other slides that I'm going to go into specifically exactly who that can be, because I think a lot of people think influencer marketing and they think it has to be Instagram, and it doesn't, or just have to be somebody with a big social media following or a celebrity. There's a lot of different people that can be influencers that could be good for your product or service. What you're going to be doing is promoting your brand to the audience through engaging posts of social media or blogs. Once again, this influencer has created a community, whether it's a website, a blog, video content, YouTube, wherever you TikTok. And the idea of it is that you create content with that influencer and you promote your brand or service through them. You're going to drive brand awareness. It's great for lead generation and for sales as well. We want to talk about that in regards to KPIs, which is key performance indicators. The idea is once you have to set goals. So every campaign that you have, anything you do in marketing, you have to set goals to know whether it was a successful campaign or not. So was it to drive awareness, lead generation, or sales? And it can be a combination of both as well. And then provide custom promo codes to influencers to drive sales. That's really affiliate-based marketing. The idea is you have a code, Shane25, and you use that code to, you give it to an influencer and they promote it. And then, anybody that used that code obviously was driven by the traffic or through my audience, through my community. And then I pay a fixed price or commission. So we'll talk about the different options you can do there in regards to whether it's a fixed price or it can be commission-based. So in other words, performance-based, where somebody would, they get a percentage of all the sales that come in, and there's different ways to put those plans together. Instagram is probably, depending on your product or service, Instagram is probably one of the best platforms when it comes to influencer marketing. Not the only platform by any means. There's YouTube, which is obviously has a lot of traction. Sometimes TikTok, obviously, there's some things going on there, obviously, in regards to what's going on with the US and TikTok. There's other platforms as well. LinkedIn can also have a big community if you're more B2B, which is business to business. A lot of different plays there, but we're going to talk mainly about Instagram today. You can choose from a nano, micro, macro, or a mega influencers based on your budget. I'm going to go into that further detail, but nano, micro, those all are specific to numbers. So nano being the smallest and mega being the largest. I have some slides that we'll go over. Only partner with reliable influencers from your niche. It's important to not just hire influencers because of follower count. You really want to make sure you're taking a look at the influencer and interviewing them, taking a look at their content, making a true evaluation, not just off of follower count. Follower count is one variable that we look at when it comes to hiring an influencer. Once you look at the influencer's reach and engagement rates, I'll tell you about some softwares that you can use for that. And then verify if the influencer's audience is similar to yours. So you can say in the past, hey, we've had these types of success with these types of influencers. This is the type of audience they have. And great, now what we want to do is find influencers with that similar audience because we've seen some good traction from that. And then build solid relationships with influencers. That's where you're, once again, talking about more of a long-term relationship if they're moving the needle or at least breaking even, and you at least feel like there's some good traction down the road. So influencers can also be your customers and employees too. So this is something, as we talk about, it's not just celebrities. It's not just somebody with a huge social media following. You maybe have customers. And what I always tell people is to look at your Instagram, the people that are actually following you right now, and take a look at them. And if they have a pretty good social media following and they already love your product, why not bring them in and talk about them being an ambassador or an influencer for your product? Because they already love your product, right? You don't need to sell them on anything. They already are an advocate of your product or service. And employees too. Like you have employees that say, hey, I love the company I work for. It's a super awesome company. And they're always bragging about it. Well, guess what? Those are people that you can go ahead and leverage and say, hey, John, I know you're part of, what can we do to put a campaign together? Because you obviously are an advocate. You love working here. We love having you as an employee. What can we talk about as next steps? And then incentivize customers, employees to post things about your brand. That's when we talk about being an ambassador, some kind of a relationship there. And then also partner with them for a long-term relationship, as we kind of talked about, assuming that there's some good traction, you feel like you're heading in the right direction. Because influencers, once again, the good thing is that there's millions of them, and the bad side is that there's millions of them. So there's tons to choose from, but you want to really find somebody that is passionate about your brand, that you feel like has a good connection. That's why I do the interviews, to see where they're at, see if they know anything about your brand, if they're just excited about working with you, or if it's just about money. I like to make that differentiation. And then once again, you can pay each ambassador on fixed commission on each sale. We'll talk about that more affiliate side of things where they make a commission off of each sale. So types of influencers, as I said, it's not just people on Instagram, it's not just people on YouTube. Here goes some different ideas of types of influencers. Bloggers, right? So anybody that writes on a website that either writes reviews or talks about products or services, that could make sense. Ariana Huffington, obviously Huffington Post is a huge website, and she started off as a blogger. Now they have obviously other people writing for the website. Journalist Anderson Cooper, right? Maybe you could be a good person for whatever your product or service is. The people that have the bigger following, that have the bigger names, obviously going to be more expensive. Industry experts, this is Peter. He writes for Gizmodo and some other websites where they do promotions. And they talk about different types of laptops and really gadgets. Celebrities, Kim Kardashian, I think she's pretty well known here from the different things that she's done. She is known as a celebrity now, where she really started off as a influencer, really becoming popular through social media and through her TV shows. And then content creators. So these are individuals, men or women, that actually have a good social media following, that are creating content. And that can be videos, that can be blogs, that can be, there's all kinds of things. There's infographics, there's tons of things that can be created there. And we'll talk a little bit about that as we kind of go through this. So now that you have a kind of an idea of the types of influencers, those are 5 types. Now we're going to talk about influencers in regards to follower count. And when we talk about follower count, the first one we're going to talk about is nano influencers. I want you to remember that you should not hire an influencer strictly based on their follower count. That should be one variable that you look at, but that's not the only thing you look at. So, if you go and hire somebody because they have 1 million followers, just know that you might not be getting the traction that you want there, potentially because influencer marketing 6 years ago was, hey, you post something once somebody talks about it, great, and some good things could happen. Now you actually have to put a strategy behind it. So if you're doing one campaign with one influencer that has 1 million followers and you're spending, let's say 10 grand, just know that you don't know if that's going to go well or not. So you really want to kind of like take some time, and marketing is all about frequency. So it's not just posting something once, it's posting 4 or 5 or 6 times. So when we talk about follower count, we look at that, but really what we want to look at is what is the overall campaign they're putting together for the price that they're charging you, right? So you have that campaign they put together. We're going to put, this many stagnant pictures on Instagram. We're going to do this many Instagram stories. We're going to do something on YouTube, an unboxing of your product, right? That's something that you say, okay, is that worth the $5,000 price tag? And then the other side of it is talking with the influencer, make sure that you have the content that is produced, you have the rights to, because then you can put it on your website. You can do some paid ads towards it. There's a lot of different ways to get more traction out of your campaigns. Work for affordable rates, right? Nano influencers, because their following is not as crazy, will be a little less expensive. Once again, it comes down to what they offer you and what they're willing to do for the price that you're willing to pay. And if that's a good deal, then you move forward. Have high engagement rates up to 10%. Some of them influencers, because they have a smaller following. Engagement rates is because if you have, once again, let's say 1,000 to 10,000, then your people are responding to stuff. And the nano influencers are probably more apt to respond to people because they're not getting as many comments. So the engagement rate is potentially higher. May work in exchange for free products and service. Even the bigger influencers can work for free potentially. It just really comes down to being able to talk with them and saying, hey, listen, what are we willing to do? Like, we're willing to send you our free product, which is, let's say, $500 in product. And what would you be willing to do for that? And they say, well, I'd be willing to do a video. I'd be willing to do this. I'd be willing to do that. It's really coming up with that overall plan. So this is Kodak. So Kodak was actually, this was a thing they did with Pupbox. And Pupbox is, obviously it's a subscription-based product that comes out. Kodak was obviously a super cute husky that received it, and the owner obviously took a picture with the box open. And the idea of it is that, hey, if you can get 50% off the Pupbox if you used Pupbox or used the keyword or the code Kodak. So they'll know exactly how many people came in through this dog's profile because they use the code Kodak. So Kodak is a nano influencer, has about 8,000 followers, and is just an absolutely cute dog, right? So we've got, the next is going to be micro influencers. So we have nano and micro. Micro is anywhere from 10,000 to 100,000. These are very general numbers. This isn't like the exact, like if somebody has, 999,000, or excuse me, 9,999, they could be a micro influencer. These are just general numbers that we look at to put them into categories. Some of these influencers will charge as little as a few $100s. Once again, everything is negotiable. You can have a micro influencer that has 100,000 followers that says, hey, it's going to be 10 grand for this. Well, if they're doing 10 grand worth of work, if they do a video that you can use, they do the opening, the box unboxing, they're doing, a blog post that can index. Well, if they're doing this and you look at that and say $10,000 is worth it, then great. Then that's obviously, we call it the value trade, or the trade that's happening there in regards to the services that are happening and the amount that the person is going to be paying, or that you're going to be paying to the influencer. It may work in exchange for free products or service. Once again, that's all negotiable, and have an average engagement rate of 7.6. That's just, some of them have 5%, which is still great. So you don't have to use the 7.6 as has to be that number. We're just saying that the engagement rate is still really good on Instagram. So this is Claire. She's a micro-influencer, once again, 14,000 followers, and she regularly partners with brands like Safin. There's some other ones that she partners with. She's out of San Francisco, but you'll kind of see here, she just talks about, who she's worked with. Obviously, it's up to the purse, the company, and she just talks about her story. Another thing is you'll see here, it doesn't say, hey, go buy this today, I love it. Really, she's telling a story of what she's done, how she's been a traveler, how this has been, how she has used this product and how it's been beneficial. We're over the days of just saying, hey, go buy this. We really have to put a story behind it and figure out how that works with the influencer. But that's where working with the influencer and talking with them about putting together campaigns is going to be very beneficial. So macro influencers, so that's usually having over 100,000 to 1 million followers. Once again, a lot of eyeballs that can happen there if they have good engagement rates. They can charge anywhere, they can charge a few $1,000s for sponsored posts or for any kind of content. Lower engagement rate, we're putting 5.3, could even have 3%, which is still fine. Once again, it just comes down to the content they're producing, what they're charging you, and if you think that's a fair deal in regards to that. So this is Jules Clothing. This is Naomi Davis. She was going to be promoting the brand. She posted a picture of her and her child and added a custom promo code. Hey, look at our Jules Clothing. Look at, we're out jumping in the rain. This is cute. This is fun. We're having fun. And here goes. If you guys use the TAZA20, then you get 20% off your first order. So that was the relationship partnership that they had, that either A, she got paid a flat fee, or she was some kind of affiliate relationship, or maybe a flat fee and affiliate. Once again, everything is negotiable because every influencer is different in regards to what they're looking for. Mega influencers are going to be influencers with over 1 million followers. They can be celebrities. They have a massive reach. Usually a lower engagement rate. We put 0.04. It could have 1% engagement rate. Just depends on, once again, the influencer, how much content they're putting out, how engaged their audience is. And the fees can be a lot higher as well. Not a bad deal. Once again, it just depends on your budget, and it depends on, once again, what they're proposing. If you have somebody that has 1 million followers that says, hey, I'm willing to do this for $5,000, and these are the things I'm going to do. And you look at that and say, well, I think that's solid and I can use that content for other purposes. Great, then that's somebody you should hire. But once again, everything is negotiable. So this is, Aaliyah. So she actually has 11 million followers. And this is a campaign. Bang has been doing a lot of campaigns with some of the Instagram models and stuff. But the idea of it is she talks about, what she drinks to start her day and how she starts her day. And that's just an example of, once again, somebody with a very high follower count that is willing to, once again, promote products or services. So running an influencer campaign, this is the things that you need to do. This is kind of the list. You guys will also have access to this at the end. You guys can get access to my presentation, and you can play it again. But create your audience persona, right? You really need to know, who do you think your perfect audience is before you go after an influencer. You can use influencer marketing tools, like 4Stars is one that's a flat fee. And then Hepsi is another one that we've used in the past. There's a lot of them. These are pretty inexpensive if you're starting off. They have other ones that are thousands of dollars a month that you can do managed campaigns. But if you're actually just looking up influencers, you can do that. Another one is Hype Auditor, is one that we've used to look at, make sure people aren't embellishing how many followers they have, doing fake follower accounts and stuff like that. You can reach out to relevant influencers based on your marketing budget. Once again, not looking at follower count being just one of those variables, but you look at what your budget is, just being transparent with the influencer. This is what our budget is. If they like your brand, they like what you're doing, and they don't have a lot of sponsorships, then maybe they'll take you on. Just, once again, it doesn't hurt to reach out to them. Finalize the influencers and campaign hashtag. Make sure you have on the brief, so that's what you're doing is kind of like the agreement you have with your influencer. Make sure you have some type of a hashtag that you're using, unique hashtag, and then give a custom code to each influencer, assuming you want some kind of affiliate-based marketing that's being done there where they're going to get some kind of commission from that, and then monitor your campaign's performance. So affiliate marketing, so let's go into that. I've touched on it a little bit through influencer marketing. So it's really leveraging the influence of other websites to drive traffic and sales. So, influencer being the example, you give them a code, you give them a link that's specific to them. Anybody that goes through that code and pays and clicks and buys something, then they get some kind of a credit for. Amazon's probably one of the biggest players, or used to be and still is kind of, with affiliate marketing, where you can build a website. If you drive traffic, you can put Amazon's products on there, make your 3, 4, 5%. Used to be 8%, but they lowered it. And then what happens there is now you can, you get, Amazon goes and ships out for you, and you don't have to hold inventory. So once again, it's where you don't have to hold inventory and you just make money off of promoting the product or service. You can partner with influential bloggers, other websites in your niche. You can provide unique URLs. Once again, that's how you do affiliate marketing. I give somebody a unique URL. Anybody that clicks on it, we know where those sales came from. And you pay a commission for every successful sale generated. And it's really a win-win situation for both sides. You're driving the traffic. They're giving you a commission because they have a product or service that they're promoting. So create a page on your website to attract affiliates. So you can put, at the bottom, if you want to do an affiliate program, you can put that down there and you can talk about the terms of your affiliate relationship. You can join affiliate networks such as Impact, CG Affiliate, Share a Sale, and Tap Affiliate are some ones where you can go on and see they have affiliates on there. And you can go and look at them, and let's say you have a beauty-based website. You can go on there and see makeups and products and stuff that you can actually add to your website and make a commission if you're driving traffic, assuming that you don't have your own product line. You want to analyze potential affiliates before partnering with them, right? You want to make sure it's a good partnership there and give discount codes to them to help with promotions, as we talked about earlier. Creating an affiliate marketing program that's going to determine your goals. You always need to know what your goals are on any program that you start in regards to marketing. Define it's a cost per acquisition. We call it a CPA. So that's what you think it's going to cost to get an acquisition, right? So if you're selling $100 cribs and you're going to make 10%, great, then you make $10. You have to figure out what it's going to take to be able to get individuals to go, how many people you need to drive to be able to get one sale of $10. And so what is your cost per acquisition, right? What does it cost to get that person to buy something? You need to figure out your customer retention rate, right? So how many people are coming back? Calculate your customer's lifetime value. That's the CLV. So if you have it's a subscription box and you say, hey, everybody that goes to my doggy subscription box, they pay $30 a month. I make $3, let's say I make 10%, but nobody ever cancels for 3 years. And great, we have 36 times 3. So that lead should be worth $100, just as general numbers. You have other things that are more expensive, right? And then you can take a look at that as well, but that's called the customer lifetime value. So you multiply the CLM by the retention rate to find the average earnings per customer. If you want to talk more about affiliate marketing, I'll give you these equations. We can talk about it. Really just getting started if it makes sense for your brand or service. And then divide the CPA by your average earnings per customer and multiply by 100 to get the maximum commission percentage. Don't worry about these numbers. Don't let it confuse you. If you want to get into influencer marketing or affiliate marketing, just start. And then we can really fine tune things later if that's what you need to do. And then do competitor analysis to find out what your competitors are doing, obviously. And then create an affiliate landing page. And then reach out to influencers and websites in your niche and say, hey, we have an affiliate program. We're giving 5%, 10%, 20% commission. Would you be willing to join? And then list your program on affiliate networks like Share a Sale, Impact, and CJ Affiliate, where once your affiliate's up, you can put it on there and then they'll market to other people to come and see if it's a good fit for their website. So some good ways to go about it. This is actually this is Wool and the Gang. They sell a brand that sells knitting kits, and they have an 8% affiliate commission. So once again, if you're a stay-at-home mom and you talk about all the cool things that you can do when you're staying at home, or you're a stay-at-home dad, whatever that is, and you can sell knitting kits, you can make 8% off of each sale by doing that. Oops. So next we're going to talk about PPC, which is pay-per-click. So pay-per-click advertising is going to be where you can go and put something on Facebook, you can put something on Google, anywhere where you can go and you pay to play. So in other words, you're putting something, you're saying, hey, for $2 a click, I'm willing to be number one for this certain keyword. And I'll show you some examples of that here in a second. The 3 types of paid advertising options are obviously search, display, social media ads. You can target specific keywords and specific audiences. So once again, very targeted. And you can create ads to drive traffic, engagement, sales reach. And this is useful to announce a new product or service. The cool thing is using paid promotions to get instant traction and conversions during a sale. For long-term growth, we use other forms of marketing. So if you have a new campaign you put up, if you do SEO or content marketing or even influencer marketing, it takes a while to get everything going. PPC, you could literally hire a company and have an ad up in a few days after they interview you and talk about what your goals are, what your budget is. And the goal of it is you're going after certain audiences, you're offering a certain message, and you're seeing how well that converts. And so it comes down to, hey, my product is $100 and it's costing me $50 to find a customer. Great. Well, that's awesome because I'm still making $50. So let's put more money into that campaign. Or it's costing me $120 to sell a $100 item. That doesn't make sense. Let's shut that campaign down. Let's try another campaign, go after a different audience. So PPC, once again, it can be very, very beneficial. You just have to kind of test a few different things. So search ads are when you'll see when you go and you look up any search word. So let's say I'm looking up Sacramento DUI attorney and I go and look that up, or actually this is product based. So let's say I'm looking at Apple computers. And so we go and put that in there and you'll see there's always these options to, hey, this is the price of this one. This is the price of that one. These are actually ads. The brand's actually paid to be in that position, and you as a product or service can be in that position as well. And once again, it can be either text-based or image-based. So just if you go to do any search, you'll just start seeing these ads that pop up. Somebody's paying to be there. It's a cost per click. So if you click on that, they're paying X amount of money for you to engage with them. So the other thing we look at is display ads. So it appears on the display, Google's display network, a collection of website apps and Google websites. So you'll see here in this situation, this is Green Rope, which is a company that we've worked with in the past, webinar-wise. And what it is they say, hey, BuzzFeed says, hey, these are the type of people that we bring to our website. And then Green Rope says, wow, that's the audience that we're looking to promote to. We really want to put a banner or put something on your website. Said, okay, not a problem. And it's text, image, or video based. And then you can see them displayed here. So this is an example. You go to BuzzFeed. Up top, there's a big banner on the top, and there's a big banner on the side. You can pay to be in those areas. And BuzzFeed will give you like a media kit or something, and you can say, what would it cost for me to be on your homepage? Tell me about your audience. Tell them how long the commitment needs to be. There's some terms that you can ask them. And once again, you can leverage their traffic. The other thing about display ads is that we talk about, or other ways that you can learn about PPC, which is pay per click. By registering for courses, there's Google Ad certification, which is free. If you want to learn more about it, once again, there's also people you can hire on Upwork. There's tons of people out there that are good at putting together PPC ads. But if you want to learn, then you can Google Ad certification. You can learn PPC as another one, and then PPC fundamentals. Or once again, you can outsource your work to an agency or to an individual to save. I don't know if it will save cost, but it will save time of you trying to learn it yourself, right? There's people that are better at it than you would be first starting off. And you can also work with freelancers and like I said, there's Upwork, there's a lot of different websites. You can put in there PPC Pro or PPC experts, and you'll have some things that will pop up and people that you can inquire with about your project. So social media ads. So these are going to be the ads that, so I'll give you an example. Like if you go to Amazon, let's say, and I go and I look at I want the 100-foot TV because I'm probably sure there's one out there. And it's this huge TV that I want. I go, yeah, but I'm not going to spend 10 grand on a TV because my wife would leave me, right? She would say, why do you need a TV that big? You're ridiculous. I'm gone. No, she wouldn't really leave. But anyways, you get my point. And what happens is I look at the crazy TV on Amazon and then I go over to Facebook and then it pops up again. So ladies, if you're looking at a purse, you're looking at anything, whatever you're looking at, and then all of a sudden it pops up on another website. You're like, wait, I was just looking at that. That's ads. That's social media ads, right? It's called retargeting. But the idea of it is that you can actually put ads up there that are very specific to your audience, male, female, to age group, to things that they like. You can really, really drill down and offer your product or service to a very specific audience. So you can place the ads on social media platforms, obviously. You can select a targeted audience and budget. Can be in the form of a text ad or videos. And this is kind of how they show up, and you'll start noticing them more when you look at your social media profiles. So reputation marketing. So reputation marketing is something that a lot of businesses don't think about, but it is something that's very, very important. And it's managing your reputation online along with your brand promotions, right? So what you want to look at is you want to Google your name. We're going to talk about this a little bit during the presentation, but you really want to Google your name, your personal name, and your business and see what pops up. Because if people are writing bad reviews and writing bad stuff about your company that is either true or untrue, if it's true, then you need to look at that and make improvements. If it's untrue, then once again, some people are just malicious. And so you really have to look at that. It's important to keep a tab on your business and see what's going on there. You want to build a reputation through customers' reviews and testimonials. So if you have somebody that says, oh my gosh, Shane, I loved this. I love the fact you helped us do this. I really go to get a testimonial or a review from them and tell them, hey, would you be able to write this on my Google page for reviews? Would you be able to write this on Yelp or wherever? Because the idea is if they love you, we want the whole world to know that they love you. And people, what's the first thing you do when you go to hire a company? You Google them to see what the reviews are. So it's important to take a look at that. You want to promote your reputation by sharing customers' opinions about your brand, manage reputation by providing incentives to your customers for reviews. So that can be, hey, you know what, if you guys write us a review on Yelp, we'll give you 10% off your next meal. Whatever that is, where you're trying to promote people or trying to prompt people to write a review about your business. And then make sure you respond to reviews as well. I'm going to show you an example of that. This was a company called Just Salad. And you'll see here that somebody had written a really great review about them and saying, hey, I came out there and you guys came to your location, Boca, and this is kind of what we're looking at. They just say something really favorable about the restaurant. And what they did is, so glad you enjoyed it. Can't wait to see you again. So it's most of the time, if people are writing stuff online, it's usually bad stuff, unfortunately, because you want to vent, you want to tell the world. Most of the time, if somebody's writing a good review, it just doesn't happen. Most times, unfortunately, it's more bad reviews. So if somebody takes the time to write a great review, you want to make sure that you address that and say, thank you so much. If it's a bad review, you also want to address it. Try not to be too emotional. And then also see what you can do about taking it offline so that it doesn't become this big crazy show online of you guys going back and forth. So once again, good stuff, make sure you respond, say thank you. Bad stuff, hey, I'm so sorry that you feel that way. Is there any way, can you send me your email address, or let's go ahead and take this offline. And if they still go crazy online, probably don't want, and some people are just crazy, so you can't fix that. So just know that, there's a situation where maybe you just let that go. Oops. So we talk about website conversion analysis, right? So I'm going to go over this just a little bit. This is a little bit more of advanced stuff, but this is, when we talk about conversion rate, it's really the total goal completions over your total website visitors times 100. So if you're right now just putting a website up and you're like, I'm just trying to get my website up, kind of ignore this. This is kind of more advanced training, but I wanted to share this with individuals that have a website up that are looking to increase their conversion rate. It's critical to know the results of your online efforts. So once again, if you're paying money or doing anything to drive traffic, you want to figure out what is your goal? What is the intent of that? And is it working, and why isn't it working? Look at the number of conversions and revenue generated. So there's like Google Analytics you can put in where you set up conversion-based goals. And what will happen is if somebody gets to a certain page on your website, the thank you page, and that means that they've purchased. So Google will say, okay, this came from Facebook. They clicked over here, they clicked here, they put this in the cart, they purchased it. And now that they got to this page, Google will say, oh, that's attributed to the Facebook ad that you created. And once again, that will help you with attribution or knowing where your sales are coming from. Find out the conversion rate by multiplying the number of conversions. Once again, we talked about this equation here. The other thing we talk about with analysis to website conversions is figuring out your revenue from marketing is greater than your expenditures. So obviously the idea is just to make money, right? You're going to do some ads and campaigns and stuff that maybe don't generate revenue right away. That's okay. You have to test. You have to figure out which campaigns are going to be profitable and which ones aren't. And that's going to take some money to put behind, behind the campaign. So take steps to increase your conversion rate. Obviously the better conversion rate, the more money you make, and then apply conversion rate. We call it CRO. So I'm going to talk about that here in a second, but conversion rate optimization techniques. So here goes some of when we talk about conversion rate optimization. Optimization means optimizing your site for better conversions. Here goes some of the things that we recommend. So adding a CTA, and a CTA is a call to action, right? That's telling you to do something to your blog post. So you'll see here, great, you have this great blog post, it's awesome. And then somebody goes down to the bottom and it says, hey, try here for free, right? Or contact us for a free consultation, or get this 10% off. Like, we're telling them what to do. It's a call to action. Go do something, because somebody reads an article and says, man, this is awesome, but I don't really know what to do next, right? Well, great, click on this, get a demo, do this. So we want to let them know what to do. We want to leverage exit intent pop-ups or sticky nav bars to increase lead generation. So an exit intent pop-up is when you're going to leave a website and something pops up and it says, wait, where are you going? We're offering you 25% off your next shoe purchase. And I go, oh, shoot, okay. Give them my email address, get the 20% off, and then I go buy the shoes. Simplify your checkout process. You have to realize Amazon was one of the companies that made this extremely easy. I know this firsthand from the stuff that I buy and the stuff my wife buys. You go in, you like something, and you have one click, you can buy it. I mean, it's super easy. If you go through your process, this is called the user experience, and somebody goes to your website and they have to do 20 things to purchase something, people aren't going to purchase anything, right? So you're wondering why people aren't getting to the cart and why people aren't buying something. It's called the user experience. Like, what do they have to do? And what I would recommend is you get this together and then you have somebody that doesn't know your product or service, hey, go buy something right now, and see what they do. Like, sit on their shoulder, don't help them. And if they can't figure it out, then most of the consumers aren't going to be able to figure it out. So once again, keep it a very simple process for being able to purchase things. If somebody has a credit card out, I don't want to give them too many steps that's going to defer them from not going and actually going and purchasing something. Offer multiple payment options. That's PayPal, that's Stripe, that's Square. There's a lot of options there. And then this was an example of SEMrush that used a CTA at the bottom of theirs. You'll see them everywhere. You get a better idea as kind of you start looking at more content, you'll see more call to actions. This one right here is for optimization. So you see this here. This is Urban Outfitters. You see they put a review here. They have reviews. So they have 269 reviews, 4.6 out of 5. So that's great. So if I'm looking to purchase that, I go, yeah, I don't really know if it's going to be comfortable, if I'm going to like it. And then I go, wow, 4.6 people or 269 people get an average of 4.6 review. Great, that's something that I would like. So the review thing is really nice because then they don't have to go and explore other people and try to find anybody else that's actually purchased this. It's actually right there, right in front of them. And then you optimize higher performing blog posts to drive traffic through them. So that's writing content online and then converting those. Incorporate reviews as we have here on Urban Outfitters. Using retargeting. So that's where if you have a retargeting campaign and somebody leaves Urban Outfitters and you go to Facebook and then the ad pops up, you're like, wow, I was just looking at those fleece jogger pants, right? You're like, man, that's crazy. Now you're more apt to buy them because you're going to see them over and over and over. And you're like, you know what? I really should have purchased those. Let me just go ahead and go get them. And so, Urban Outfitters obviously does a good job of that. Once again, that's called remarketing, where you remarket to somebody on a different website. So conversion rate optimization. So optimize your website, landing pages, and product page layouts. So if you have a website, look at those and make sure that, once again, that it's optimized for purchasing. That's the whole point of getting somebody there, is for them to buy something. Improve your internal search to ease product discovery. So when you're on a website and you have a little magnifying glass, make sure that that's working and that people can, find products easily. If you have, a lot of products, you want to maybe have a sidebar that talks about the specific categories where they can click on and go over and take a look at the products. And then add multiple keywords to improve the search function as well, which is more of an SEO type thing. So this one right here is a good example. This is called Free People. And some of you might have been on the site or heard of the site, but you'll see here what they do is they have a very clear navigation bar. So it talks about clothes, dresses, tops, jeans, activewear, beauty plus wellness, shoes, accessories, intimates, swim, and sale, right? So everything that you want, if you go on there, you go, okay, I'm looking for activewear. Great, very easy. Navigation will show you exactly what needs to be there. And you also see the search functionality in the top right-hand corner, which once again makes it easy for you to be able to go search for individual things, maybe a specific product that you're looking for. You can also include a live chat option, assuming you have the bandwidth to do that. Or you can do that. Once again, it'll prompt you. If you have a live chat, somebody goes on there, it'll tell you while you're doing stuff online, and then you can go and respond to those individuals. A lot of people don't. Some people don't want to call. Some people don't want to email. They're looking for, looking for a response as soon as possible. And live chat would give that functionality. Leverage chatbots. That's where you're actually have some kind of a function where somebody asks a specific question, the chatbot will automatically answer. It takes a little more setting up to get that done, but there's some huge value in that. We've written some great articles about chatbots on my website, shanebarker.com, where you can go there and take a look at the different chatbots and how you can use them. And once again, the navigation bar on this one is super clean and it's very easy to navigate and go find the products you're looking for. The other thing for conversion rate optimization, you can offer lead magnets. And so a lead magnet, I'll give you an example on my website. If you come to my website and you're on an SEO article, a lead magnet would be something that pops up and says, hey, download this free PDF on 10 ways to optimize your website for SEO. and you're like, man, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I give you my email, or you give me your email address and name, and then I send you the lead magnet. So the idea of it, it's a magnet for leads. You bring them in because they want that free information or want some free content or free 20% off or something like that. You also want to look at your page load speed. So there's ways to test that on Google. If you put in Google page load speed, you put your website in that, your URL in that, and it'll tell you how long it takes for your page to load on mobile and desktop. If it takes extremely long for it to load, Google will de-index you. What I mean by that is you won't show up in the SERP or in the search engine, because Google really wants the people that are looking for certain keywords to have the best experience. And the only way that they do that is by have a site that's optimized, that performs well. Like, nobody wants to go jump on a website and look at it and just wait and wait and wait for it to come up, right? People don't have the patience for that. So look at your page load speed and then leverage A/B testing to improve navigation and design. This is kind of once again, we talk about conversion rate optimization. This right here, this was their original page, was the one that had the shoes or the socks below and the feet, the footer up top. They took that out and they actually had a 17% increase. Not sure why, because I would think that you'd want to see the product in use, but in this situation, 17% increase per visitor by taking out that bar and putting in more socks and having obviously all the pictures in the exact same format, not having the bigger ones and smaller ones. So there's ways to do the A/B testing. Once again, A being you keeping what you currently have, B is the new variable that you're changing, right? Well, we're changing one thing, and you can do Google Optimize and Convertitize are some sites that you can go and do that, and then you just test the variation. You can use heat maps. That'll show, they'll actually show the heat on the website of where people are clicking, where they're not clicking. There's softwares that you can do that, and it'll tell you where people are at on your website, where they're ignoring, right? And we obviously want people engaging in where they can purchase. And this is smart. Well, once again, this is them testing their 17% increase because of the fact that they took out that footer and they made all the pictures the same size. So testing headings, like testing form sizes and sidebars, these are all things. Once again, you only want to change one variable when you have to keep the variant, the one that's the same, and then on the second one, you want to change one thing. And that can be, once again, testing headings. It can be the form size. It can be the sidebars. You test it, drive some good traffic, see which one is converting better. You want to place special emphasis on the design and positioning of your CTAs, which is your call to action. When you're telling somebody to download, call me, do this, whatever you're telling them to do. And then test various sizes and positions of the search bar. Once again, kind of some advanced stuff. If you're just putting a website up, ignore this. Just put your website up, get some traffic there, and we see what can happen. And then check the effectiveness of the navigation bar based on its position and where you have it at. Improve your product listings. That's where you can add reviews to it. Add reviews on one, add reviews not on the other, and see which ones perform better. Pretty sure the ones with reviews, assuming they're good reviews, will perform better. Test the effect of adding and removing shipping charges from your product. So, great if you charge another $3 for your product and you take down, so now it's free shipping. See, people love free shipping, and so that's a variable for them. They'll not know they're paying a little more for the product, or you keep the product the same price and the shipping is, hey, 7 days, but if you want it shipped within 3, it's a $10 charge. There's ways to do that, but free shipping is something that's always been, people really enjoy. And then note the effect of reducing or increasing your price. You want to find the perfect price point, and sometimes that takes a test. You put it at $27, you put it at $23.95, you put it at $35, and you find out that you get less conversions at $35, but it's actually more money because you get a higher quality of client. So once again, a lot of different things you can test there in regards to A/B testing. This is going to be a version that we did. This was California Closets. So in A/B testing, you'll see here, this is version A, their original version versus version B. You'll see what they changed here is just a thing. It says you've arrived, get organized with the best clicker called today. And then they had version 2, which said clean, bright, organized, schedule your free design consultation today. And once again, you just want to see which one people respond to the best, and whatever one has the higher conversion rate. So we're going to talk a little bit about online marketing myths, right? So if you're not online yet, you really should be. That's the reason why I think you're on the webinar today. If you are online and you need to obviously do better conversions or do more social media or influencer marketing, whatever that is, one thing a lot of people don't realize is they think that only larger businesses need to be online. That is a huge myth. Obviously now due to COVID, it's everybody should be online and be generating some type of sales or building out that, because brick and mortars are once again closing, opening due to COVID and due to crazy times. So once again, we have to think about, okay, what do we need to do about bringing in another revenue stream? And that would be online, but it's not just for large businesses, it's for small businesses and medium-sized businesses. Content quantity is more important than quality. That's not true. It really comes down to the quality of content. So if you can put out 2 pieces of blog posts per month that are high quality opposed to 10 that are low quality, go with the high quality content. That's always going to be better. And it's not necessarily actively distribute your content. The thing is, you do need to distribute your content, right? It's like, just because you put some content up, you need to figure out how you're going to get that content out to be able to let people know about products or service or something informational. The distribution of that content is important. Presence on a single platform, social media platform, is enough. You probably want to try to be on multiple platforms. If you don't have the bandwidth for it, then great, specialize in one platform and become really good at that platform. The idea is to, each platform has different audiences and different things that we can promote, and we want to pull those individuals in through, once again, different social media platforms. But if you don't have the bandwidth for it, don't stress out about it, and don't lose your hair over trying to be on 10 different platforms. You want to be on 1 or 2 or 3 platforms that once can bring some leverage for you. Some other myths, I don't have any competitors online. Like, hey, it's just me. There's always competitors, unless you have a product that's so disruptive that nobody knows about, and you've got 10 patents on it, and you got 40 attorneys. That's awesome. Great. Then maybe you don't have any competitors, but for the most part, everybody has competitors online. Negative reviews are bad and shouldn't be displayed. So, the thing is negative reviews actually can be a good thing in the sense that, let's say you're a restaurant and somebody says, oh, the hostess was extremely rude to us. Now that sucks for your restaurant, but if somebody says that 10 times, you should probably get rid of that hostess, because she's making, or he is doing something that obviously is causing people some not feeling comfortable with your restaurant, and you want to take care of that. And then you want to write on there, thank you so much. We actually looked into the situation, and we have actually hired a new host or hostess. So sorry for your experience. We'd love to see you to come back, sometime soon, right? So now they go, okay, that was a one-time issue. Now they've taken care of it. Things are good. And then personalization isn't important. Personalization is important. What I mean by that is, like, when you're sending emails, if it's to a specific client or somebody, make sure you personalize it, because personalization, there is some room for automation, right? Which is not a problem. But personalization, if you have a chance to add a personal touch to anything, whether that's writing a letter to a customer that's done great things, has always come into your restaurant, you have to think about that, especially during COVID times. What do we do to really make people feel special? Because it's important. And the results will show instantly. Online marketing is a grind, no different than when you started your brick and mortar. The day you clicked open, nobody probably came in, right? It's like, okay, now what do I need to do to get people to come in? Online marketing is the same deal. It takes a while to build that community, to get people to come on and really start following your products through influence or any kind of social media or websites or, YouTube or whatever you're putting the content out at. Email marketing is spam. So no, email marketing is still a great way to go. That's if you have, emails from past clients, or you have something on your website that says, hey, once again, get your 10% off, join our newsletter. And then you want to keep people up to date at least once a quarter. That's every 3 months. I would say at least, hopefully at least once a month, maybe twice a month. You can tell them new products, new services, employee of the month, the community service you're doing, people you're partnering with. There's tons of things that you can talk about. It doesn't always have to be sales-based stuff. It can be more informational as well. Influencers that don't drive sales are a waste of marketing budget. Once again, influencers, let's say they don't drive sales, but you still have that content that they produce that you can put PPC, pay-per-click ads to, or you can go and use it on your website. You can use them as a testimonial. There's other ways to use the influencers' content that they've created. SEO is expensive. It doesn't drive results. I will tell you, SEO can be expensive depending on which keywords you want to go after. And it does drive results. All of my content, everything that I do is content driven and SEO driven. I don't have a sales team. Everything that comes in is people inquiring with me about my services. So, and that's all done through SEO. It's taken a while for me to be #1 for 2,500 keywords on page 1. But now the result is just, I'm just getting tons of leads because of that. And my audience won't shop using mobile. They will, and trust me, they are. And that's where you want to set Google Analytics up on your website, because that way you can see where people are coming in, whether they're coming in from mobile or desktop, and then making sure your website is is optimized for mobile is going to be very important. Look at your website on your phone and see what it looks like. That's part of that user experience. So takeaways. So these are the kind of the final points here before I jump into questions. So in-depth look into influencer marketing, right? So once again, anybody you hire from an influencer wise, make sure you're looking at their profile. I call it the eyeball test. Make sure you're looking at it. Make sure you like the content. Make sure they're not talking about politics if you don't want to be pulled into politics or anything social stuff that you want to be pulled into or don't want to be pulled into. Make sure you're looking at that. How to use affiliate marketing, paid advertising, and reputation marketing, conversion analysis and optimization, the A/B testing to optimize your results. Once again, comparing, keeping this the same and then changing the B variable, and then the online marketing myths. And now we can actually jump into questions. I will tell you real quick before we talk about all the, or jump into the questions, is that if you need consulting individually as a company or you can reach out to me at advisor@shanebarker.com. That is my personal email. If you have questions, we can set up some time to be able to discuss some of this further. I know it's a lot of information. Another thing is, if you guys need help with Texas State SBDC, here goes the website. Please reference that. They have great webinars that they do each month. They're a phenomenal resource when it comes to finances, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to anything. They really are an awesome resource. And here goes their email, sbdc@txstate.edu. And that is about it. We'll ask some questions. One last thing, next webinar is next Thursday. We're going to talk about ROI calculations and beyond mistakes. Further on the future of influencer, or the future of online marketing and staying ahead of your competition. So cool. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and see if we have any questions, or if anybody wants to jump on and unmic themselves, they can ask me questions as well.
Shane, can you go back a slide to show your contact information again?
Yeah, for sure. There we go.
And then yes, to everybody, I will be sending a copy of the PowerPoint in that email. If you are needing copies to the previous workshops that we've done, please feel free to just respond back to that, and I'll be sure to send that over to you. And if you'd like, if it's a little bit easier, you're more than welcome to unmute yourself and ask questions.
I'm actually a really friendly person. I won't bite anybody, I promise you. I've been highly trained. Sabrina, I know you had questions last time. No pressure, but I'm here for you.
Hi, Shane. This is Mahani.
Hi, how are you?
I am great. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to you and to SBDC. The information you've given us today is awesome and overwhelming.
Right?
Yeah. So I'm just taking it slowly. So you did not mention Unbounce today. You mentioned it in your second presentation. Would you like to tell us a little bit about Unbounce right now? Yeah, so Unbounce it's another way to build landing pages, right? And you can actually do A/B testing with Unbounce as well. So if you had let's give you an example, a PPC ad, so a pay-per-click ad. So you put an ad up about blue widgets. And what you can do with Unbounce is create a landing page that talks about blue widgets. And what you can do is if you're driving traffic either from PPC through ads to this page, you can do two different pages and just change one variable for each. This one is going to be constant. This one you're going to change one variable. Let's say it's the call to action. See which one converts better. So Unbounce is somebody that I absolutely would recommend. They have great landing pages and a pretty easy functionality to use the website on how you can be able to drive traffic and convert that traffic. So yes. I would absolutely recommend Unbounce for sure. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming on. Another thing is too, I do understand that there's a lot of information, right? So that's why Francisca and everybody, they're going to send that out, the presentation out to you. And if we talk about conversion stuff and that's confusing to you and you just need to get your site up, just make it a starting point. If you write down a list of 5,000 things you need to do, you're not going to get all of them done. There's just no way. And you're going to be very overwhelmed. So you have to start somewhere. So if you want to start social media or you want to do influencer marketing,
start with a campaign with 2 influencers and start, you know, educate yourself a little bit and just start. It's baby steps. No different than when you started your business. You weren't born with the knowledge that you gained through having your business, right? It's the same thing when you're going online. Just do baby steps. Just do small little wins. You don't have to go after the big thing. That's when I talked about some heavy conversion stuff. I don't want to scare people with that. And it's like, maybe you're not there. Most customers, most people aren't there yet. Great. Just get your website online. Just start using some of the social platforms and then just start driving some traffic. And then over time that will build and we can talk about conversion-based stuff.
Do we have any other questions for Shane before we end this workshop? Okay, well, I want to appreciate, or actually thank everybody for joining us today. And Shane, again, appreciate you for doing this. Please join us for our last one on Thursday. And the link that I put in the chat box will take you to all the upcoming workshops that we have. Shane, do you have anything else to add?
No, I want to thank the SBDC for putting this on. I think it's awesome that they're trying to help business owners during this time of COVID. And I once again, I'm blessed and honored to be a part of it. And once again, hopefully this was helpful for everyone.
Yes, thank you. Okay, everybody, we will see you on Thursday. Thank you.
Bye, guys.